Okay.
Recording. Hi.
Hey, what's up, sister?
Why?
What are we supposed to talk about today?
We are not just talking to each other today. We're talking to everyone else today as well. So you have an audience, my dear.
Oh man, that means we can't talk about boys or anything like that. We're just gonna talk about business. That's boring. No, I'm kidding. I'm really excited to finally. We've been trying to get on video together for a while, and things just kept happening. I just moved. Like there's quite a bit going on, and but we're finally doing it, and I cannot wait for the rest of the world to see. Not just our partnership and how we interact, but also how we lift each other up and how you have helped me so much. And hopefully I've helped you too.
Yes, yes. So for those of you who don't know who we are, we'll do a quick introduction. I'm Jenn, jenscalia.com. I am all kinds of things, but what is my title is a visibility strategist, business growth coach for online entrepreneurs who really want to make a huge impact. And that's what we want to do today as well. So
That's right. And I'm Maru from maruavicella.com. And I do three things. I help women get raw, real, authentic, not just in their business, but in their lives. I also help women to explode their prosperity. I teach women how to receive infinitely. And I'm also brilliant. Business coach, messaging, and marketing strategist. So yeah, I'm a little bit of those things and a whole lot of me. As you'll be able to tell.
yes, 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 yes. So I do want to just say that yes, you have definitely made a huge impact on my life. We have been connected for, I was trying to think about it actually, because I think it's been 2 years. It seems like a lot longer, but I know that
Not to say that the first time I talked to you, I remember it was October or September 2014, and my business was doing okay, and you were holding on to a job that was paying you $100 a week, like $150 a week, and you were holding on to that job to dear life. And I remember trying to talk you out of it, but what if you just got one client? And you're like, no, but the job pays my car.
yeah.
I will never forget that. That was my first interaction with you, and I was like, we had a nice bond, right? And then yeah, I did not know at that point that you were gonna like save my business and my life too. So we can get into that story later if you want, but or in another episode of this interaction. But yeah, Jenn, you've been a sister to me, you've been a lifesaver, you've been a business, you've resurrected my business. I mean, I cannot even begin to express to you how grateful I am for our friendship, for our bond, and also to be bringing our strengths and our forces and our experiences together, right? And compiling them to help hundreds, hopefully thousands of women, and if not more, to really step into the truth, not the bullshit, not the excuses, not the real reasons. I get it, and you're going to hear how Jenn and I have overcome our fair share of things, and there's something we figured out, and we want to share it with more people.
Yeah, for sure. And I just I talk about you all the time. I'm like, oh, my best friend lives in Texas, and I'm gonna go see her. And you've just been such an inspiration to me. And I think what really solidified it was in New York, because we have been connected for a long time. And when we finally met in person in New York, I was just like, oh my gosh, this woman is just like a ray of sunshine. Like, no matter what the hell is going on in your life, I mean, you were going through some shit. As we all do, right? But you just always have this smile. You always have this amazing, crazy energy that I just love. And I just I want it. So I'm like, give me more Maru, because I need that energy. It's just, I've never met anybody in my life that has the energy that you do. It's crazy.
Thank you. That's a love confession on camera that I've never heard before. So I'll take it. Thank you so much. I think for the most part I've been a really positive person most of my life, but not a positive grounded in bullshit or in happy-go-lucky. I'm just a positive person. I'm a really practical, positive person because I have a very strong metaphysical and spiritual background. So I've always found a good reason why things happen, and I'm an awesome reframer. I'm able to maybe more easily than a lot of people to make lemonades of lemons or to dance in the rain or surrender. And it just comes more naturally to me than most people. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to share that with you and with those who have gotten to know me over the years. And God knows, you know, that I've been through a few things that have tried to take my spirit away or that have tried to like crush me. Not that they've tried like as in like, oh, that's happening outside of me to crush me, right? But things that could have really jeopardized my destiny or that energy or that success, right? And for me to have taken that, you know, near bankruptcy, more recently, you know, it's a separation. I mean, several ups and downs that could have severely affected, you know, my motivation, my dedication, my business. And for me to just have taken all those things and like triple, quadrupled my income, helped, you know, a ton more people from them, and really seen myself, my journey as the thing that I'm here to do and I'm meant to model for others. It's something that I can't wait to share more, you know, about, because it's a beautiful, meaningful, easier for me way to live.
Yeah, and we kind of were talking about this the other day, about, you know, the journeys, and like our journeys are so similar, like beyond, it's very weird how similar like our journeys are and the stuff that we've gone through, and like you, it's like all of these things like were going against me when I started my business. And that's why I'm so like, no fucking excuses. Like, I don't care what is going on in your life right now. Like, you can take the time to grieve or to, you know, deal with that and get over it and heal. But like, you've got to get back up and make it happen. Like, and so, you know, I just am so adamant about the fact that we have the power to change whatever the situation is, whoever we are that we're not loving, the people in our lives, the finances, the business, everything. Like, we are so powerful to be able to do this, but so many people, especially women, don't harness that power, don't recognize that power, don't understand how to use that power, for the better. And that's really why we came together, to kind of be like, bam, like this is it, like this is the secret, right?
Yeah, that's right. And also, I want for people to start noticing how different we are, you know, because Jen's very different from me. Like Jenn has some excuses for her life and her business. I have some excuses for my life and her business. We're not coming to you like, no fucking excuses ever, right? Like, no, we're each healing our own journeys of other things that we've had excuses for, right? But that doesn't mean we've become like victims of that and we're not doing everything we can to change it, right? And so the more I step into this journey and the more I accept the calling of my life, you know, the calling of you're here to help millions of people wake up to the truth, stop protecting their image, stop protecting themselves, you know, start protecting others and forget about themselves. Like, you're here to be fully expressed, to be fully you. That could be through your business. It could be through something else. But the more I step into that, the more easily I can pick up on the bullshit stories in my head. You know, the more easily I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so mediocre, Maru. You sound like a broken record. We're going to change this right now. And it's just change gets easier over time.
Yeah.
And also
recognize that, I think, too, like being self-aware.
Yes.
Oh, I'm doing this. Like, I recognize that I'm, you know, telling myself this story. I recognize that I have this pattern, or I recognize that the shit keeps happening to me. Like, there's a reason why.
Right. And it's not like I'm broken, right? Or like, oh, there's something wrong with me. It's like, oh, you know, like with our tools, with coaching, with everything we've learned over the years, and I'm sure you know us while watching this, and getting the right support system, surrounding yourself by the people that, you know, that see you, that see the truth, that see what you can do. I mean, you literally become unstoppable, right? And I think the more you say no to the BS and no to the excuses, the more room you create for you to receive what you need. The support that you need, the ideas that you need, the clarity that you need, the strength, the persuasion that you need, the strength that you need. So yeah, I just, as you can tell, we're very passionate about all this. I think I'm always this passionate anyway, but this makes me extra passionate because it's just, you know, I was sitting by myself. I was doing some journaling, which is something that Jen has stressed a lot, you know, and it's one of her secret sauces. And we're going to be sharing more about secret sauce with you in our challenge and in our program. But you're so religious about certain things, and I'm not. And I'm religious about other things, you know, that you're not. And so it's funny how it all works. But I was sitting in my journal and I was thinking, like, I'm so grateful for amazing back-to-back clients. I had a really busy day yesterday. And I just thought back to the day when I didn't have back-to-back clients. You know, when I was just sitting there hoping and praying that I would get a client or two, you know, and when I had space between clients and when I could just accommodate them whenever they needed me. And I can't do that now, thank God, right? Like, knock on wood. But I was just feeling such deep gratitude, right, for having the privilege to serve the quality of people I serve and the number of people I serve. And I was thinking back to the days, you know, when I first started, you know, when you and I were talking on the phone and how far we've come, you know, and you take it for granted sometimes because I'm always on the go. But I had that moment this morning where I was like, holy crap, I was just on the phone with somebody I admire. You know, we're doing this amazing mastermind. And I was just like, wow, at what point will your life, you know, be right here where you're like getting on the phone with amazing people, you're accepting invitations like you, Jen, like you were just, you know, at dinner with Marie Forleo and all these amazing people. And you keep getting those invites and you're speaking on stage next weekend with Gary Vee. It's just like, how long ago would you just dream of this?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, and I think that's an important thing to point out is that it can happen so fast. We just had this conversation yesterday, right? You have to be patient, right? Like, it's going to happen fast, but it may not happen overnight. But you have to keep pushing and keep going because, I mean, looking back on my journey, I actually just sent out a newsletter to my list. I'm like, it's been about a little less than 2.5 years since I got my first paying client. Okay, 2.5 years. That's, you know, in online time, that might seem like a lot, right? But in retrospect and in real life, like, that's nothing. That's no time at all. Yeah. To have what I have today. Like, it's insane. It really is.
It is insane. It is absolutely insane. And I would say that, you know, for me, something that I feel has moved really, really fast is the type of connections and the type of people I mingle with, right? The Lisa Nichols of the world. And, you know, I'm texting all day back and forth with someone who I used to like watch on TV and admire and see on stage. And now we're really good friends, you know? And I'm just like, of course, because number one is what I wanted. Number two is what I worked towards. And I had to work through a lot of bullshit. Like, I'm not good enough. Who am I to speak to those people? Like, I used to get really nervous around them. And now, with beyond the shadow of a doubt, I can call them peers, right? And I have a very healthy income and stuff. And like, I'm working towards the 7 figures and catching up to the 10X factor. That we'll talk about that too. But I feel like my journey has sped up so much, you know, and my success feels very just deep, you know, not just in terms of clients or numbers or anything. It's more of an accomplishment. It's a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, you know, and I can't wait to bring more people here.
You know, I like that you pointed that out because I think that there's a lot of people in our space, you know, in the coaching space who, like, you could tell right off the bat, like, that is all it is. Like, their success is defined simply by the numbers, you know, and by the income. And that's what I love about what we're doing and what we're sharing is that, yes, that's a big part of it, but that's a result of every other success that there is, the happiness, the, you know, just wealth, the family, all of this amazing stuff, the confidence, stuff that we didn't have before that we have in masses now, right? And it's not just the money, like, that's the icing on the cake, right? But there's so much more to it. And I also feel like because of that is a big reason why people admire you. It's a big reason why people admire me. It's a big reason why we're getting these invitations and we have this energy that people just want to be around.
Yeah, that may sound cocky, like, to some people, right? But I am owning up to that now because one of the greatest things that I've come to realize is when you're working with mentors, you're working with people that inspire you, forget about the business tactics. Figure out how they think. Figure out what they do. Figure out how they react. Figure out how they make decisions. Figure out how they move, how they behave. Like, model that, right? Like, yes, pick their brains, get their coaching and all that. But if you can model, if you can be around that energy, right? And how they're being, how they're acting, how they're like, you know, in communion with life with other people, it's like, that is where the magic really happens. And that's why you've paid 30K, 40K to be surrounded by some people that I remember us talking about this not long ago. You're like, I don't really know what it's done for my business, but I am like, I want to keep signing up for this person because their energy is, oh, you know, and I feel the same way about my own team of coaches. It's like, I need that. Like, I want to be in that energy. I want to be surrounded by that because they think differently. They always give me different perspectives. And it may not make me $1 million right away, but my goodness, the self-awareness that it's given me, how it's invited other new things, new energy to come into my life, that has translated into clients, new programs, new ideas, more, you know, unstoppability. Oh, it's priceless. Like that.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. And I want to go back to something you were saying earlier, because I'm sure it's very apparent in this video, like you were saying, like how different we are. And we were talking about how it's kind of like, you know, the masculine and the feminine, the introvert and the extrovert, and how like we still are like this, right? Like the magic that we create together, you know, on a personal level and in business is off the charts, because it's like it's the best of all worlds. We got here.
For sure, for sure. What was I going to say? I wanted to ask you, Jen, like, why are you doing this program now? Like, why now? Because I'm assuming, I don't know this, I haven't asked you this before, but you've been successful now for like really successful for like 1.5 years, right? And you're a content machine. That's something that people say about you all the time, and it used to trigger me. Now I'm like, yes, it's closer to me. I'm tapping into that one day. So I wanted to ask you, why now? Like, why are you peeling back the curtains, you know? Because there's so much that I know about you that like you don't share, but I feel like it needs to be shared. So why now?
Yeah, I think it's really necessary. I think that, you know, there's just
Hold on, the connection's breaking up a little bit.
I know it's fine on my end. So, but I feel like, you know, there's so many different polarities, especially in our industry, in the coaching industry, that that need to be addressed. And yes, strategy is awesome, but the real thing, the real driver behind my success is the mindset. It's the actual deep stuff that I have done on a daily basis to make this happen for myself. Oh, I think I lost you. Hold on.